Rick Perry, I have a video for you. I can't even believe this, Louis. That it's incredible. Rick Perry repeated a fake quote from a satirical piece as a real story. Okay, there was a satirist, Mark Schatzker of Toronto's Globe and Mail, who did this piece where he created a character named Jeremy, who supposedly went to Occupy Toronto and said, you know, we came here to Occupy Toronto at 9 a.m. and the bankers were protesting have already been here for 2 years. It was like a very pro-financial company type piece. It was satire, complete satire and made up. And look at what Rick Perry did. Rick Perry decided he was going to quote that piece. No idea that it's just completely made up. Take a listen to this.
My parents understood the importance of getting an education, and after that, just hard work. And one of the interesting things, Dean, I saw, that Occupy Wall Street's kind of got a lot of attention right now, and this was sent by my son, who actually is not a Wall Streeter, but he's he works in the financial side of things, and it was a quote. And I don't know whether it can be proved up or not. The young man's name was Jeremy, and he was 38 years old. But he said, we got here at 9 o'clock, and those people, this was in Toronto,
right.
I think Bay Street is their comparable. He said those bankers that we came to insult, they'd already been at work for 2 hours when we got here at 9 o'clock.
Look at the whole panel here smiling and laughing it up because Rick Perry is being so incredibly articulate, and he's referencing things from popular culture that are in any way real or based on the real world. The whole thing was satire. The entire thing was satire. What is going on? We've always wondered whether we can have satire or parody in Iran, right? It doesn't seem like a place that would really understand or appreciate any kind of satire. We have to ask whether we can have satire among conservatives. That's the real question. It appears half of the U.S. doesn't understand satire.
As long as we can appreciate it, I guess I'm fine with that.
Then Rick Perry went on to comment about income inequality, and he said, you know what? Money is actually highly overrated. People need to forget about who's making more money, who's making less money. How convenient. How incredibly convenient. Take a listen.
We have young people who today are occupying Wall Street.
Right.
That, there are some people out there that are making too much money.
Mm-hmm.
And if somebody were to ask me what's the best advice that I could give them, excuse me, it would be that money's probably the most highly overrated thing in the world.
So Rick Perry,
easy for him to say,
exactly, who has apparently a nice nest egg of close to $3 million, says, money's just not that important. All these people that are angry about all of the Wall Streeters that have millions and tens of millions and hundreds of millions of dollars, they should just care less about money. If they were less greedy, Louis, if the Occupy Wall Streeters were less greedy and weren't so tied up with dollars and currency to buy things like housing and clothes and food, we wouldn't have any problem. Everything would be fine. The Wall Streeters would have their hundreds of millions, and everything would just be fine.
Interesting. I'm pretty sure some of these people are occupying Wall Street instead of working currently. So I don't know if
clearly
if what Perry's saying is
right.
true.
They must understand that this is more important than money because they're choosing not to earn a living in order to be there. By the way, University of Phoenix is where Rick Perry gave the speech. It's funny that there's a candidate who doesn't really exist in my mind at a virtual university. There's some irony there, isn't there, Louis?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Very apropos. So why is it that people with lots of money keep telling me money doesn't really matter? If it doesn't matter, why do they have so much?
It doesn't matter to them.
Right. I guess, yeah.
If the stock market tanks and Joe loses $2 million.
Joe the plumber, maybe,
yeah.
who doesn't even have that money. He doesn't even have a business.
If he loses $2 million.
He's not even a real plumber, ladies and gentlemen.
That's fine, because
money's not important.
Money's not important. He'll just sell his $5 million house in
right.
in Boca Raton.